Hey everyone, it's Stranger Grayson here. Welcome to another horror movie review. Today we're going to be, today I'll be reviewing a series. No, I keep thinking this is my Goosebumps channel, guys. I'm sorry. Today, I'll be reviewing a Halloween movie, and this is the first sequel in the franchise. Came out in 1981, and that is Halloween 2. Now, this was a release made by Scream Factory. They did a 4K Ultra HD release along with the Blu-ray, and it's a 3-disc set on the inside. As you can see, I did the reversible cover. I put it back to the original poster art. And honestly, I do prefer this over Scream Factory. Not that Scream Factory did a bad job. It's just, I figured maybe, since I have Scream Factory slipcover here, I could make this the original poster art, since Scream Factory already gave me this slipcover. So that way it'll be a little bit more matching. So, right here it says, "From the people who brought you Halloween, more of the night he came home." This is the spine and the backside. Backside is mostly the same thing as the slipcover. But anyway, Halloween 2. What is it about? Halloween 2 takes place during the same night. It actually picks up right where the first film left off, with Loomis shooting Michael off the balcony, and he looks down and sees that Michael has disappeared into the night. Now, he's really freaking out because he realizes that Michael is not human. He takes 6 slugs to his body and somehow escapes and gets up like it didn't even faze him. So, Loomis is certain that Michael is not human. He is evil itself. And later, he's running down an alleyway, or he's running down the street, and he catches up with the sheriff. And him and the sheriff, drive over to the neighborhood again to search the blocks after he tells the sheriff that he shot him. Of course, the sheriff doesn't believe that he didn't kill him, because, who would believe that? But while this is going on, we cut to Michael's perspective, and he's still roaming the streets of Haddonfield, but he kills a person along the way. I won't tell you who it is. I'll just tell you he kills a person along the way. Then we cut back to Laurie Strode. She's being wheeled off into an ambulance. She's going to a Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. She's being wheeled into the hospital by Jimmy and another guy. And she gets put into her room. Of course, she's still in, a bad place after, what happened. And it cuts back to Haddonfield. Sheriff has just found his daughter's body, and he gets pissed off at Loomis, says you let him out, and you don't see him for the rest of the movie. And then it follows some more cops, another cop. And then they hear that Laurie's being taken to the hospital, or not they, but Michael overhears somebody say that Laurie was being taken to the hospital. And let's just say he shows up, and the body count begins again. Halloween 2 was a pretty darn good sequel to an already awesome movie. It was not directed by John Carpenter this time. I believe somebody else directed it. It was written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, but somebody else directed it. Rick Rosenthal was the guy who directed Halloween 2. Yeah. I don't believe he had any directing experience before this movie, so I'm really surprised that he was able to do a good job. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill did, for the most part, a good job writing. But as you guys probably don't already know, this movie introduced a twist that happened in the last 30 minutes of the movie that, of course, kind of ruined and stained the franchise for a very long time. It honestly kind of ruins the perspective of the original Halloween in a way, because Michael didn't have a motive in that movie, and now in the sequel, it turns out he actually had a motive. So John Carpenter didn't like that Michael had a motive, but apparently he was drunk writing some of the script, so that's probably why that happened. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis does come back. Well, I'm not big of a fan of her out of movies. In movies, I think she does an okay job. I do love the portrayal of Laurie Strode once again by Jamie Lee Curtis. While she's not my favorite actor in the world, definitely not an average. She's probably my average actors. I don't really enjoy most of her movies. I hate to come off as rude. That's just my opinion. I do think she does good in the Halloween movies, and she even did good in Prom Night. But she does a very good job in this role once again. And I believe her and Donald Pleasance are like the only two returning cast of the original, along with the sheriff, but the sheriff's only in there for like 20 minutes of the movie, 25 minutes, then he's gone. The kills in this movie definitely were a lot more gory than the original Halloween. There's a lot more blood. As Randy from Scream said, the sequels normally ramp up the body count. This movie was definitely one of the better sequels, but after this, the next sequel fans did not appreciate well, but I will talk about that in another review. The ending to this movie, probably one of the best endings I've seen in all the movies. This definitely could have ended the franchise off right then and there. But of course, you know, when movies do well, the box office grows. Of course, the studios like the money, so they want to make another sequel. John Carpenter really didn't want to do that, so instead he went the anthology route. We'll talk about that later. But this definitely should have been an end to the storyline. Did not need any more sequels. Unfortunately, that happened, but not saying that all the sequels after this were bad, just most of them were. From what I can remember. My opinion may change throughout these reviews. The Jimmy Laurie / love interest thing was kind of alright. It wasn't, didn't really go anywhere for the most part. Then, of course, you got some douchebag characters like the other ambulance guy and the African-American nurse. I don't know her name, but those were kind of meanish characters. One of these kills in this movie was very, very painful looking. Michael basically stuck a syringe in a woman's head and he pumped air into her head with the syringe and it caused her to have a seizure and die. Now, you didn't see the seizure on camera, but you could tell just by the way it was shot. That must have hurt a lot. And of course, the infamous hot tub scene, that was always a nice one. I'm not going to spoil all the kills in case you guys haven't watched this movie. But, you know, the hot tub scene where he dunks that girl's head in and burns her, scalds her face and everything. Decent effects for that time. Probably not decent effects now, but for that time it was pretty good. And yeah, overall, that's really my review on Halloween 2. Probably a little bit shorter than my Halloween review, or maybe same time. I don't know. Just really depends. Overall, great sequel. Not as good as the original Halloween, not by a long shot, but still probably my top 5 favorite movies in the Halloween franchise right now. And yeah, that pretty much is about it. All I have to say about this movie. That was my review on Halloween 2, released by Scream Factory, the collector's edition. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it about a 8.5. Not a perfect movie. There are some problems, especially Loomis pronouncing Samhain wrong. He pronounced it Samhain, and that kind of was an okay twist in the movie. Just look up Samhain, you'll know what I mean. And maybe don't if you don't want it spoiled. Never mind. That was an alright twist, but the one with the sister kind of ruined the movie a lot. So, what is y'all's thoughts on Halloween 2? Let me know down in the comment section down below. We'd love to hear everyone's thoughts on this. Shout out to my friend Horror Movie Channel Reviewer, or Goosebumps Boy. I'll leave a link to his channel down below. He's also doing the reviews on these. Also, shout out to Strange Michael, as he has done his reviews. And I'll leave a link to his channel down in the comment section down below. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next Halloween movie review. And I will see you on the next one. God bless and have a good night. Goodbye, everyone. Samhain. Yeah.